exactly how the contracts get built. You know, it's kind of left up to the contractor's means and methods. But we did dictate in this case that we need to maintain 3 lanes of traffic on this structure. So if you have a system that allows that to be accomplished better than the conventional method, we wanted the contractors to engage themselves, and we would hopefully benefit from that innovative approach.
Is this the first time this type of construction equipment has been used on a bridge?
No. This type of technology we're aware of being used many other places. In fact, the people who are building it for us, they have done it before. So
But not on the tollway system.
not on the tollway system. So we knew it was out there, but to just design our contract solely relying on that special technology might have restricted the bidders too much. Like there might only be, we were happy to see that there was 5 bidders and 4 of them actually have the technology to do it. So we were happy about that. But we didn't want to close the door on the conventional way because it's a perfectly good way to build the bridge. And if it came out, you know, that price was, you know, beneficial to us, we would have done it. You know, we would have lived with the additional joints on the structure. We have structures with longitudinal joints. It's just we, you know, on such a big bridge, well, this is once in a 50-year opportunity to get it right. We really wanted to see if we could do better than just the normal method.
This bridge is in need of replacement?
Yes, 56 years old. So that's, you know, the decks, they don't last that long. And the underside of the deck, the piers and everything, they were showing a lot of signs of wear and tear. And we had already had several contracts where we had to go out there and do patching and, you know, repair of the structure. So we're happy that we're going to be able to rebuild it, restore this infrastructure to an excellent condition.
And what's the significance of adding the lanes then?
So this is one of the sections of I-90 where we're widening from 3 to 4 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
So
going
you
to make
didn't want
sure.
it to have to go back down to 3 lanes at the bridge?
Yes, we're happy that we're going to be able to widen the structure, provide full 4 lanes in each direction, and we're building full shoulders on this. So, you know, when we have full shoulders, that not only addresses the day-to-day things that could occur out there where a car breaks down, you know, they'll have, you know, safe place to pull off and not impact or not have as dramatic of an impact on traveling, on the traveling public. And then also when, in the future, when we do have to do maintenance on the structure, you know, we can move traffic onto these shoulders and keep 3 lanes open at all times. Or that'll be 4 lanes in the future. Keep those 4 lanes open. And that, we did the same thing when we did the tri-level bridges. We put full shoulders up there because it gives us more flexibility when we have to do work on that structure in the future. We know, 30 years, 20 years, you know, we are going to be out there again doing repair work and deck patching. And we're thinking ahead so that we can try to minimize the impact to the customers then too.
Well, it's a $75 million. Was that the low bidder?
That was,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
And what could you explain that $2 million credit?
So, you know, we didn't necessarily know how they would build it without the 2 joints, but we definitely knew what eliminating the 2 joints would mean to us. And what it means is $2.2 million in future maintenance. So if they can come up with a method that would deliver the structure to us, we were saying, you know, we'll give you the $2.2 million credit right now on your bid because we recognize this additional equipment is expensive and, you know, it does require additional costs to actually bring it to the site and erect it on the site and use it. So we were taking more of a life cycle approach to this, you know, looking not only at the initial cost, but, you know, what are we getting out of it for the future?
Mm-hmm.
What's the architectural / engineering deal with the gantries? Does that compensate for the fact the joints or the fewer piers? I mean, does that have some sort of
The gantries aren't permanent.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
They're
gonna
only
be
there
used-
for construction.
Oh, okay, I see. All right.
To move those beams,
Okay.
basically.
How much traffic does that bridge carry?
We'll have to get the ADT. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I want to say 140,000, but I want to verify that.
And how would the construction of this bridge compare with, say, the one that you had to build on 88 few years back, whenever that was.
It's over the same river. We built that bridge in a conventional manner. It was done with cranes,
Mhm.
and I believe the cranes were below that lifted the beams up. I
Mhm.
think we might not have we didn't have that forested fen over there.
Separate construction seasons too.
Yeah.
Each bridge was constructed separately,
That's
so it's
correct.
much longer.
Yes. But, you know, I know that bridge, most likely does have some longitudinal joints on it,
Mhm.
because it was built conventionally and we had to maintain traffic while we built it. That job, it's completely, you know, different in its approach, because we actually built like a new structure adjacent to the existing structure.
Right.
And I believe that was only going, I can't remember now, Joel, did it go from 2 to 3 or 3 to 4? I can't remember.
I'd have to double check.
And we also have an on-ramp there. So it was a little different sequencing, because we had room within our right-of-way to build the new eastbound structure while we maintain traffic on the westbound structure.
So the unconventional, or the different aspects of this are like just the one joint plus the fact you're sort of building it and simultaneously operating it?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
And one more time, could you just describe how how this is gonna affect traffic, you know, how that will shift?
It's going to allow us to maintain the 3 lanes in each direction while we rebuild it.
Mhm.
That's the basic explanation. And we are going to have to move the lanes around on the deck,
Okay.
but the gantry system gives us a lot more room to work with.
But one of these, in the initial phase, right, one of these westbound lanes is actually gonna be on the bridge that is the eastbound bridge.
That's correct.
Will the traffic be split, like any of the?
You know what? I believe what we're doing is taking down the median barrier that separates the 2 bridges and filling in the gap. So there will be a temporary wall, I believe, separating opposing lanes of traffic. So I don't believe it's going to operate exactly the same as, I mean, if you remember how we rebuilt 88 and then also the tri-state, where we actually had a counterflow lane where, you know, one lane had to get moved onto the other side, and they were separated actually from even people driving in the same direction. These folks aren't going to be separated. I don't believe the motoring public will know that they're actually like on the opposite bridge deck, because we're removing the existing median barrier and we're filling in the gap, and those 3 lanes are going to be grouped together. But one will be theoretically driving and technically driving on the opposite side of the road.
So it sounds like you'll be building it, you'll be putting, new bridge on the east part, you'll be shifting traffic over, then you'll be building the west part. And in the middle of this, will you be like demolishing the existing pavement and putting new in?
Yes,
Okay,
that's it.
okay.
And what about the fish?
So we do have a restriction in the water. So we can't do work in the water between April 1 and June 15th. So
Because of the spawning season for the fish.
Really? And that's per the Illinois Department of
yeah,
Conservation?
it's one of
Natural
the,
resources. I
yes,
think, yeah.
it's IDNR, I believe, that has that restriction. So one
It's
of our,
in there somewhere, yeah.
it is IDNR. So that's one of our permit restrictions. So we're working around that, which is kind of why we're timing this award to occur now. So we'll get all the paperwork in line. We'll get the mobilization. The contractor will be able to mobilize, start ordering materials, ship things to the site. So they'll be ready to hit the ground running on June 15th.
And the forested fen is a protected area?
Yes.
Is that state-owned?
Illinois Department,
Let's confirm. who
Illinois
owns it.
Nature Preserve.
Is it the nature preserve? I know he was out there showing us around.
Yes. I had,
I'm gonna have to go back in, but it sounds like if these are the details, then Paul
Yeah.
is the right person.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
So this goes through 2016, is that right?
yes. So it's time to finish when all the other work on that section of I-90 is scheduled to finish.